I love it. I thought this video was very relevant to what we saw recently with the 100 players. Over the past few weeks, Sig has been playing with the player cap. And I love this dude, 10pound42. He's very technical and explains things in a way that are quite amazing, that in layman's terms. And I want to hear what he talks about with this, with the testing going on and how it's relevant to server testing. So let's watch 10pound42 explain to us about what's going on with the 100 player counts and Sig playing with player caps.
If you've been following Star Citizen in any way over the last few weeks, you'll have seen all this stuff about server player caps increasing. 120, I think they've even tested 130. They've done loads of testing on the PTU to see how many players they can get on a server. Now, this has been amazing. I've been loving watching the different videos. But my question is, how are they doing this? And what can we learn from that? Because I think it's really interesting what they're probably doing in the background. So we're going to dive into some of the stuff they've said. We're going to look at some of the server stuff that they've mentioned in the past, which, to be honest, isn't a lot, but we've got some.
It is.
And we're going to try and explain what they're doing and why this potentially looks like it's working. So let's get into it. If you've ever done a bunker mission in Star Citizen, you will know all about server performance. You will have seen AI standing around, not really doing anything. You could run up to them, run around them, and punch them. And sometimes you'll do the same mission, and they'll just murder you from nowhere. And a lot of this is to do with the server rate, or the server tick rate, how fast the servers are running, the server frame rate. And so we have been saying for a while now that our client-side performance has greatly improved on our side. So our PCs, if you've got the fastest CPUs available now, you can get pretty decent performance. But that doesn't have really any correlation to do with AI performance or just things going on the server. And so there's been some interesting posts over the years looking at this, exploring what's going on. Some great Reddit posts about server tick rate and basically how the game compares to other FPS sort of games. And the answer is very poorly. The rate that the server is updating has always been very low. And actually, if you watch this clip from CIG, this was what they put most of the bad performance on.
I remember this. This is about 3 years ago.
The way that they currently run, it's basically 7.
Whatever happened to Pillar Talk, man? They need to get this shit back on the road where you got the key players coming in and talking about shit. That was such good content. What the fuck happened to Pillar Talk? You know? Let's bring it back.
To 10 frames, you know, when we get it running at 30 frames a second on the server, you'll see a major benefit.
So it's a lot less precise than what the client is, and so they get out of sync, and then you get weird behavior, a lag. And so if you get the server frame rate, which our target is 30 frames per second up, then the experience on the client side is better. And a lot of that weird AI behavior that people see, or doors not opening when they should open, isn't actually necessarily a bug. It's just that the server's gummed up or so far behind it, it's not telling the client in time to do stuff.
Exactly.
Now that video was from December 2019, so it is old, it's a long time ago. And so over the years they've been making gradual improvements, but nothing that has really remarkably shifted how the game performs for us.
Right.
So why suddenly now, just as they're about to start working on server meshing, on all of the stuff that they're doing for 3.18, have they started to explore this? It seems like quite late on in the test cycle for the PTU they suddenly tried this. It must have just been because performance was so bad, and my suspicion is that a lot of this is tied up with the Siege of Orison, this new dynamic event that's coming, all FPS. And I've had one go on the PTU a while back, and it was effectively unplayable. Like, yes, it was fun, you could see the design in it, but because the AI was not responsive, people were just, again, they were just walking up to them, punching them. I ended up following this one guy. I was trying to be all sneaky, going around corners. He was just running up to people, AI, and just punching them, and that was all he was doing, and doing takedowns. He wasn't even trying to do anything. Basically, he wasn't trying to play the game. He knew that the AI was so unresponsive that he wouldn't even have to attempt to play the game as it was probably meant to. So my suspicion is that as they've tested the Siege of Orison on the PTU, they've come to the conclusion that they can't possibly put it out in the current state that it is because of the AI performance. And so they've been forced to look at this server stuff. And I think it might end up being one of the best
fun time last night.
maybe, or best things that's ever happened to Star Citizen, because from everybody's accounts so far, performance seems to be basically the same, not worse. At least the AI performance doesn't seem to be worse, but people seem to be much more happy with seeing many more players in the server and just much more chance of interaction. Whether that will
wasn't it, Luigi? I had a good time last night. I'm having a great time this morning.
Sticking together and going in these big groups and seeing.
Hold on, sorry to interrupt here, but I'm having a great time with you guys this fucking morning, man. Look at this. Epic 5-hour stream. Wow. Young man energy. I got that young man. First level energy. Watch out. Watch out. And it's a lot of coffee. It's a lot of coffee, seriously.
These amazing videos with all these players all stuck together.
Big energy.
It looks
right,
incredible. It's
right,
really
Pepe? Big energy, dude.
Because this is probably what everybody had in mind.
I'm glad you guys are having fun, man.
They want these massive, big battles, or they want these huge server counts. So let's explore how these servers work and try and explain what they're doing or what we think they're doing, because a lot of this, unfortunately, because CIG haven't told us much, is guesswork. So in order to understand what they're doing, we need to understand a little bit about servers. This is obviously way outside of my normal videos. I normally just look at your PC performance on the client side.
Thank you, Void. Thank you, dude.
We are in uncharted territory for me.
Love you too,
so
bro.
I would love people to correct me and to fill in the gaps for me in the comments. So please,
awesome.
Anything I'm getting wrong here,
most of you guys have been here from the beginning.
As far as we're aware, well, we know that CIG are using AWS, Amazon Web Services. And if you go through some of the data and some of the information that we've had in the past, we know that they're using these EC2 servers. Now, I think they're also using the compute optimized ones. And so we've selected here these AMD EPYC processors. So it could be these, maybe it could be the Intel ones. The way this vaguely works, and this is complicated, is that they will basically spool up servers depending on need using AWS. And those servers can be of various sizes. The instances can be of various sizes. So we believe that CIG, from the past information that we've had, were using a CPU instance with 4 virtual CPUs. And again, all this is virtual because really what's going on is there's a server rack and it's running these instances within the server rack. It's all too complicated. What potentially they are doing is they've got this massive one.
By the way, this is Amazon's biggest driver for revenue right now. The AWS, Amazon Web Services, is their fucking business model right now. They are banking so much on renting out server space. It is ridiculous what AWS is making, man. I can't remember the numbers because I listened to their last quarterly. I should have separated it out and told you the fucking numbers, but it's literally, I believe it's over half. I could be incorrect, but I believe it's way over half the amount of revenue being pulled in right now is AWS. It is currently really interesting to me to know that you have all these different layers of like packages that you can buy into for AWS. Essentially, you're leasing, you know. Can it be that Cloud Imperium is using like a lower tier package? Like, is that like, dudes, maybe pump up the budget and buy yourself like a better fucking package. Let's see.
Down here, but they're actually chopping it all up.
Hold on. I'm rewinding.
Instance with 4 virtual CPUs, and again, all this is virtual because really what's going on is there's a server rack and it's running these instances within the server rack. It's all too complicated. What potentially they are doing is they've got this massive one down here, but they're actually chopping it all up themselves. But for the sake of this, we'll use this. We believe that they're using 4 CPUs. And so what they're doing with this new testing now, and this is the crux of what we're talking about, is that rather than having 50 players on 4 CPUs, what they could be doing, what we think they're doing, is maybe running 100 players on 8 CPUs. That is vaguely what we think they're doing. They did actually make a post about this.
Oh, they did?
But they then changed the post. Hey all, just wanted to clarify that we're doing a test on our servers to see if fewer instances on the same virtual machines solve a few of our back-end issues plaguing the PTU. So that's what he originally posted, but then when we go to the edited post, as he said, he's edited it for accuracy, which suggests what he originally put wasn't quite right, or maybe they're trying to not give as much detail. Hey all, just wanted to clarify that we're doing a test on our servers, in this case, to profile them under different workload levels, in order to assess areas of new possible gain and remaining bottlenecks after recent optimizations in 3.17.2. And then it basically is the same. So a slight change of wording, but they're basically changing the load on the servers, different load levels or different amount of instances on.
Dude, they need to upgrade like fucking now. What the fuck are they sitting on their laurels for God's sake? They're bringing in enough revenue of their own. They can definitely afford a higher fucking package through AWS. Ash, our super mod here, always bringing relevant information to the stream, I might add, which is why he has the green sword of power that I've commanded him to tickle you all with. He can only tickle you. He cannot cut you with it. If he cuts you, please report him to me. Only tickle, Ash. Only tickle with that green sword. Ash says they said many years ago they could have used a higher tier, but that would encourage devs to use all those extra resources. They wanted to max out a lower tier to try and keep it efficient. Dude, that makes sense, but like fucking scale it up already. Scale up. You know? Like Jesus. They're bringing in enough revenue. You know what? They put a lot of spend into that Manchester fucking office. Did you see that studio? Who was here with me on Inside Star Citizen Review last night? Where we picked out the studio from the very get-go of the start of the Inside Star Citizen show, and we were like, wow, check out the motherfucking studio behind Jared right now, man. Yes, Luigi was here. One in the chat. If you were here last night on the Inside Star Citizen Review. Like, maybe they can't afford to upgrade the package because they're putting too much into the actual biz on the fucking, leasing side of things, space side. I don't know, dude, but they need to budget. They need a high budget for the AWS services. I mean, like, really, that is like a no-brainer. What the fuck? That is a no-brainer. They should be close to top tier right now. They should be close to top tier. I don't know what that costs, though. I don't honestly know what the fucking costs are. Like, it's AWS ridiculously expensive. We should look that up. Does anybody know that information on the... Somebody try and find that for me. Somebody be a proactive fucking viewer and find me what the AWS services cost, and we can go over that. Like, that would be... It is pretty expensive, says Futz. DG_6, says Walker. I'll make that shit happen. Hire me in there. That shit's happening tomorrow.
Here is my paint explanation of this again. So,
it's probably really
we've got what we think CIG are currently using. Maybe a 4 CPU, 4 core.
Hold on. I have to do it.
Shame.
Yeah. Who wants them to even go past this package they're on? Everybody knows you need a bigger package.
Or server instance with some memory. And that currently is running 50 players.
That's what my
We
girlfriend...
then think they may be messing around with different configurations.
That's what my girlfriend Christy tells me all the time. Wait, does she? Did I say that out loud, Pepe? Shit.
It could be 6, could be more, all sorts of things. More CPU cores, and probably more memory.
Yeah,
maybe
get the
not.
big boy pants package.
120
Are you a big man?
Get the big boy.
I'm talking to you.
Get the big boy pants on. Spend the money.
I put on my big boy pants.
Do it.
Look, I'm wearing a belt.
Do it.
I got big boy
Wear
pants
your belt.
on. Oh. You put on a little jacket, you go. You take your lunch and you got big boy pants on. You got your big boy pants and your snack.
Do it. Highest package now engage. Over 9,000. Make that shit happen.
And the question basically is, with the 50 players on the server, they do all the AI stuff they normally do. They go off to different missions, they trigger AI.
I don't know, Ash. Ash has got to be the rational one here. I'm going a little crazy. Ash is saying, hey, I'd rather they make efficient use of what they have before upgrading. But, I just got to say this, Ash.
Are you a big man?
Put the big boy pants on.
I'm talking to you.
That's the biggest package.
You wake up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants.
All right, that's enough. That's enough, Pepe. I'm sorry. I'm getting a lot out of control here.
Other things, it's not just AI, but that's the easiest example. Will this 120 server with more resources be able to basically do a better job of keeping track of all the AI and updating everybody? Because the major thing, as we said before, it's the tick rate, the server rate, the server frame rate. If we know that it's roughly maybe 6, as low as 6, it could be anywhere. Let's say it's 10 on this 50 player server that we've got at the moment. Can they, with these extra resources, but still with more players, it's a bit of a juggling act basically, a tension between the player count and the AI that the players will trigger and the extra resources, because the AI might run on certain amount of CPUs. We don't know how well threaded their server architecture and stuff is, but I imagine that this 4-core 4 CPU server instance is slammed at the moment, and so the idea is that giving more CPU resources potentially might allow the server to spit out more information for your client to update, and therefore all the AI stuff would be better and wouldn't be rubber banding around. And also,
Ash is like, listen, dude, I'm gonna leave the clown pants to you, DG. Ash shaming me. Ash tickling me with his green power sword right now. I'm shaming myself right now. Basically, Ash just saying I'm wearing nothing but big boy clown pants. Shame myself, please, Pepe. Shame myself here. Oh my God, it hurts so bad, but it hurts so good. Thank you, Ash.
Shame.
Thank you so much. This is why you're a mod. This is why you're a mod. To shame your boss. This is why. Hold on a second. One more. Thank you, Ash.
Shame.
Have I become your boss now? Oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry.
all sorts of stuff. That is the theory. And the amazing thing about this is that it seems to be working.
Clown
CIG have come out and
pants!
said that they're going to give this a go when they're exploring basically what this will look like to put live with 3.17.2. Again, please get in the comments, explain to me what I've gone wrong on this one. I've just done this as really because I was interested in this. I just wanted to look at why they were doing this and how they were doing this. And so...
Wait, did he say it would help? I talked right over it. I hate when I do that shit.
More information for your client to update, and therefore all the AI stuff would be better and wouldn't be rubber banding around. And all
He
sorts
thinks
of
it would
stuff.
be
All sorts
better.
of stuff. That is the theory. And the amazing thing about this is that it seems to be working. CIG have come out and said that they're going to give this a go when they're exploring basically what this will look like to put live with 3.17.2. Again, please get in the comments, explain to me what I've gone wrong on this one. I've just done this as really because I was interested in this. I just wanted to look at why they were doing this and how they were doing this. And so, yeah, I could be off the mark on some of this. So please educate me below.
All right, is there any education going on here? Because I'm wondering what people are going to say here. Mentor says, I just played 2 Siege of Orion tests tonight, one with 75 and one with 100, and in both cases, NPCs were brutal. Flanking, pushing, taking cover, and taking down player after player. Global chat was filled with, down, I need a medic, please. SIG aren't solving the player cap problems just by scaling the UP. They are solving it by scaling or by scaling up. They are solving it by scaling out. Okay. Scaling up involves making each I said UP. I literally spelled up. I was thinking about UI. That's funny. Clown pants. I need something that says that. I literally need a sound effect. Hold on a second. Pepe. Hold on a second. Clown pants. Clown pants. That's so good. That's so good. I like it. Clown pants. I need that larger, please. And I need that in a red color. Please, Pepe, if we could do that. And then can we please make that red, Pepe? If we could. That's not red. That's still the same color. I need a red color. That's not really okay. But that's not the red I want, Pepe. That's a maroon. Get your color straight. There we go. Clown pants. Thank you so much. Ash, you're a genius. That's why you're fucking mod. You're fucking genius. Scaling up involves making each individual server beefier. Scaling out involves creating lots of paralleled copies of your services to distribute the load linearly. Aha. Of course, SIG needs to decouple these services from the current single-tier server package, but they are well on their way with that as it's a prerequisite to server meshing. Makes sense. Bucky putting that in there. So what I have to say is this. One, Bucky, damn, you actually know what you're talking about, I think. I mean, at least it sounds like you do. I don't know whether to take you seriously or not, but damn, you sound super important. And number 2, just spend the extra cheddar. Just spend it already, because I want that shit to happen like now. It should. The gaming experience is really important, yes, even in an alpha. And if that means you have to spend the cheddar, spend the cheddar. I don't know exactly how much the extra cheddar is going to be. Probably a giant cheese house. Probably a mansion filled with rolls and rolls of and wheels of Swiss and cheddar, possibly Gouda. There could be other cheeses in there that we don't even know about, right? There could be so much cheese. And the smell of it, perhaps a Limburger, so strong to the nostrils, could knock me over. We don't know that cheese needed to be cheesed out, if you will. But cheese needs to happen. Lots and lots of cheese. I think that's what I've gotten from this video. More cheese, please. More cheese, Pepe.